World Cup 2026 is just a few days away, and I'm here to give you some more predictions as well as some players to look out for. Also, guys, don't forget to please like, share, subscribe to my channel. I've got lots of World Cup content that is coming, including reactions to the games, some live streams, a couple of games, a couple of fun stuff that I've got planned. So please, guys, just like, share, subscribe to the people, and let's grow this channel, not only for me, but for you guys too. Without further ado, let me do some of my predictions. So, we did do the group stage predictions in a previous video, I'll link you to that, but I did not do some kind of speciality things. So, what I was thinking, I was going to do my prediction for the top goal scorer, and I will give you three. I'm giving you Erling Haaland, Kylian Mbappe, and Harry Kane. I think those three are most likely to be the top goal scorers. In terms of the team with the most clean sheets, or golden glove, I'm thinking either Mike Maignan from France, Martinez from Argentina, and I'm thinking David Raya from Spain. If it is David Raya that is going to be in goal for Spain. Young player of the year, obviously, I'm going to go Lamine Yamal. I wouldn't be surprised if they give it to someone else, but I think Lamine Yamal is a shoe-in for that. I don't see anyone else unless there is a big surprise at the World Cup, like an Endrick or a Ryan from Brazil, or just someone that we haven't seen. I wouldn't be surprised by that. And what else? Top goal scorer, young player. That's pretty much it. Now, let's go on to the players that you guys should look out for in each of the teams in the World Cup. Like I said, it is 48 teams. So there are 48 different players from all of these World Cup teams that you should kind of be looking out for. Someone that might catch your eye, or someone, this obviously might be someone that you guys know, or it could be someone that you guys don't know at all. So I'm here to just give you the highlight of who these people are, what they play for, what to look out for in their styles. And it might not also be limited to just attackers, it might also just be defenders or goalkeeper or whatever. Without further ado, let's talk to Group A. Group A, Mexico. I am saying look at a player like Gilberto Mora. He is the youngest player in this World Cup at 17 years old, so he's younger than Yamal, and he's playing for the Mexico national team. I don't know if he will get minutes, but if he does, please look out for him. He is a speedy attacking midfielder and winger. You're not 17 and you don't get to the World Cup for nothing. So I do think that we should give him a look out for. South Korea. South Korea have an abundance of talent. They have players like Son, they have Hwang Hee-chan, but the player I say we should look out for in this team is none other than PSG's Kang In Lee. Obviously, in that PSG team, it is hard to shine with the likes of Kavara, Dembele, Doué, Barcola, but I think that he is a hidden gem. He is looking for a move, so him trying to showcase how he plays in this World Cup would be key. I do think that if he has a very, very good World Cup, he could see a major bid for like a massive team going for him. I like Kang In Lee. He plays in that also attacking midfielder or even that right wing slot where he can cut in, connect play, and he's kind of tidy in that way. Czechia. I'm going with Patrick Schick. He is the top goal scorer at Euro 2020. He's a tall striker, plays for Bayer Leverkusen. He's tall. He's basically everything that embodies that Czechia team. Tall, strong, wins headers, can score goals. So I'm gonna give my lookout for him. And then finally, my home country of South Africa, I'm going Mbelekisi Mbokazi. I think he is the shining light in the South Africa team. Despite him being a defender, I think he's got a wicked shot on him. Just search on YouTube, Mbokazi shots. He's done it a bunch of times, and it excites me to see what he can do at this World Cup. He already is playing in the MLS for Chicago Fire, so maybe a really, really good World Cup can give him another move. I know he recently just moved, but moves have been made after a World Cup. Group B, Canada. Obviously, we've got the likes of Alfonso Davies, their captain, who will be playing either at left back or left wing, but we should be looking at someone else. That person is none other than Jonathan David, the Juventus striker, who I don't think has had the best season because Juventus have also struggled. They're not the team that they used to be, but someone like Jonathan David can carry this Canada team forward in this group, which is very open. Then we've got Switzerland. We've got Noah Okafor. With Shaqiri not there, it's left a big hole in their team, and I think Okafor can kind of fill in that void there. I do think that in terms of the ability, he won't actually be a Shaqiri like for like replacement, but from his like games at Leeds in the Premier League, he has proven to be a well liked player. I like how he kind of can play either at left wing, right wing, or even at striker. But he is going to need a lot of help from that team. Then we go to Qatar. This one is a niche pick. For all UFC and FIFA fans, you guys will know him. None other than Akram Hafif. This man is one of Qatar's best players. He's a career mode legend also for teams that, if you're starting a small team or a team in mid-table, I think he'd be one of the players, one of the easiest free transfers to do at a high rating because he's so good. He is the reigning AFC Player of the Year, which is basically the Asian Football Champions League Player of the Year. He scored 15 goals and 12 assists in 22 league games in Qatar. So he is a very, very good player. We should not count him out, and I'm excited to see what he can do at this World Cup. And then Bosnia and Herzegovina, this is an easy one. I'm going Edin Dzeko. This man has been playing football, and he's still good. Scoring goals at Fenerbahce. I think this is his last World Cup, so we have to see what he can do and if he can carry this Bosnia side. Group C, Brazil. Brazil have so much talent, and the one player that I will say that we should look forward to, obviously we have the likes of Vinicius, we have the likes of Endrick, but the star, the one that we should be looking at, is none other than Neymar Jr. This man came back from injury and all of that, and the world will be watching Neymar. I will not lie to you, the world will be watching Neymar to see what he can do if he can carry Brazil to another World Cup. Morocco. Morocco have a bunch of talent, but I'm going to highlight one player that is lipped for a move to Bayern Munich, and that is Ismail Saibari. He is a winger from PSV, and he's shown quick feet. I think he scored against Liverpool in the Champions League too. But if you are not going to look for him, if he's not going to play, then obviously we should look at the top goal scorer at the recent AFCON, Brahim Diaz, who obviously we need to see after he missed that penalty. But it is actually going to be interesting to see how he plays in that Morocco outfit and to see how that final might have affected him. Scotland. There's only one player from Scotland that we have to look at. None other than Scott McSaucy McTominay. This man, ever since leaving Man United and joining Napoli, has had a revelation, turning into a goal-scoring midfielder, whether it's long-range shots, it's box crashing, or it's the occasional bicycle kick that he can do. I think he is one player to look out for in the Scotland team that hasn't played in a World Cup in a long-ass time. Haiti, I don't know much about Haiti. I'm very excited to see them at the World Cup. But one player that we should be looking forward to is Wilson Isidore. He plays for Sunderland. He was their striker. He's a tall guy. He is a poacher. So I would like to see a little bit of him and the whole Haiti team in general. Group D, the USA, the host, the one of the other hosts, one of the three hosts. Obviously, the player that we should be looking at in that USA team is none other than Captain America himself, former Chelsea player Christian Pulisic. It's very interesting to see where he has evolved, to see if he can actually add to the levels that he's had, um, and if he can carry that USA team in their host nation in America to see how far they can go. Australia, I've gone with another niche kind of pick in Christian Volpato. who plays in Sassuolo. He is a right winger. He is 22 years old, and not much of him, but I'd like to see a bit of him in that World Cup. Paraguay, I'm going for Julio Enciso, the Strasbourg player. He scored one banger of a goal that won the Premier League like best goal at was it Brighton, sorry. And if he does have a good World Cup, I could see that Strasbourg move him from obviously Strasbourg to Chelsea Blue Coat. It's possible, even though I don't want that. I hope it doesn't happen. But let's move on. Turkey, obviously, Arda Güler, one of the brightest young players in the world. It would be very interesting to see him and Turkey at the World Cup. They are also one of my dark horses at the World Cup, and I'd like to see him play in that Turkey team. Now, let's go on to Group F. Netherlands have a solid squad. There isn't anything really like eye catching. There's no young player that we can look out for. But one player that we should always constantly look forward to in that Netherlands team to watch is none other than Frankie de Jong. He kind of strings that midfield together, keeps that team together. Very interesting, and I'd like to see more of him at the World Cup. Another one of the dark horses, Japan. They are a very well structured team. They don't have any star players, but they work together as a team very, very well. Players that I would look out for are Autanako, who plays at Leeds. He plays in midfield. Does the box to box role very well. And Takefusa Kubo, who's played at the likes of Barcelona and Real Madrid, and is currently playing at Real Sociedad. So I'd like to see some of him at the World Cup. Tunisia, the only I mean not the only player, but Tunisia also are not the worst side. But one player I would say you guys should look out for is none other than Hannibal Mejbri, who also plays at Burnley, played at Man United, was at the academy. He is an interesting player. He can either play in all the midfield roles, whether it be defensive, box to box, or attacking. He could be the key to Tunisia doing something in that group. And then we have Sweden. In that Sweden team, obviously, we have the likes of Victor Gyökeres, who was in a Champions League final, is a Premier League winner with Arsenal. Ugh. But the player that I am looking forward to, that we should all have our eyes towards, is none other than his strike partner, Alexander Isak. I don't know if we're going to see prime Isak at the World Cup because he obviously had a strained season at Liverpool, being their most expensive signing, but obviously not playing as many games as possible. But anything can happen. I'd like to see what he can do, and if he can actually, just bring a little bit of that Newcastle Isak to that Sweden team, and we can have some sparks in this group. Group G, Belgium. I've got two players to look out for in that Belgium team. Obviously, on the left wing, we've got Jeremy Doku, very skillful player, beats his man. What I'm looking forward to seeing is if he can get that little bit of end product in his game, see if he can obviously dribble past, but also just finish, become a player like a Hazard or just a Hazard in that team where he can carry that team forward. Another one is in midfield, Amadou Onana. He does that box to box role very well, very strong. He reminds me of kind of a hybrid of Pogba and Kante. He plays at Aston Villa, a player that I really would like because of his ability to play on the ball and off the ball movement and his tackling. Iran, their striker Mehdi Taremi scores a lot of goals. I want to see him score more goals in that World Cup. Egypt, obviously, Mohamed Salah. Um, Egypt isn't Egypt without Salah, and this is probably his final tournament. So I'd like to see him go out on a good note. New Zealand, Chris Wood, obviously I apply the same thing to him. He's probably his last World Cup. Be interesting to see that New Zealand team in that World Cup also, to see what they can do in this group, because they can do something. They've got the likes of Egypt and Iran, and obviously Belgium that they have to play, but it's very open in that group. Group H, Spain. Like I said, the young player of the year, young player of the tournament that I am predicting, could even be player of the tournament depending on how far Spain go, Lamine Yamal. But another player on the other side that has something and has a lot to prove, Nico Williams. He hasn't had the best season with Athletic Club, but one World Cup can change everything. Could even open up another move where you can go somewhere else. So Nico Williams is the viable option there. Uruguay, we're going for their midfield maverick that plays at Real Madrid, Fede Valverde. Can he carry them like he's carried Real Madrid in certain points to like the end stages of the World Cup? Saudi Arabia, I'm going with the person that scored an amazing goal, Salim Al Tassari. He scored a phenomenal goal against Argentina in that shock win. And can he do that against Spain or Uruguay? I don't know. We'll have to watch. And then last, one of the teams that are making their debut at the World Cup, Cabo Verde. I would like to see a player that plays at Villarreal, Logan Costa. He is the centre back. Overall, in general, I just want to see them, but I will be keeping a keen eye on Logan Costa. Group I, the group of death, in my opinion. France, obviously, the wealth of attacking talent that we're seeing, but the two players I'd like to highlight from that team, Olise and Cherki. Just watch them, brilliance. If you've seen them for either Bayern Munich or Man City, you know what they can add. Senegal, Iliman and Ndiaye. You can obviously add what the other people can do, but one good World Cup from him can also open up a move to either a big club, Chelsea, Man United, Arsenal. It's possible one good World Cup can do that. Norway, obviously, their hopes will lie on Erling Haaland to see if he can carry them through to this World Cup somehow, somewhere. And he is also another one that can end up scoring the most goals at this World Cup. Iraq, I'm going for a player called Ahmed Kassem. I'd like to see him. I think he is a right winger, about 22 years old. So I'd like to see how he can fare at this World Cup. Group J, the holders of the World Cup, Argentina. Uh, other than Messi, I like to see someone like Julian Alvarez take the reins from Messi, someone like Nico Paz take the reins from Messi, and see if they can go back to back in the World Cup. Austria, they have a solid team. I'm going to look at players like Konrad Lima and Carney Chukwemeka, who moved from England to Austria in order to play for them. Algeria, Algeria have a solid defense, but their attack will need to score goals. And I'm looking at players like Riyad Mahrez, who is obviously going to his final World Cup, but another young player that I have my eyes on, and Ibrahim Maza. Pause on that also. But Ibrahim Maza, who plays at Bayer Leverkusen, very creative. It reminds me of Turkey, so I'd like to see a little bit of that at this group. And then Jordan, I'm looking at Musa Tomori. Also, I would like to see a lot more of Jordan, but he is the person that caught my eye, and I hope to see more of them and just in general. Group K, Portugal. Portugal have the best midfield at this World Cup, and I think if they are going to go far, it is because of that midfield. Vitinha, Bruno Fernandes, and João Neves. That is better than almost every other team at this World Cup, and they can probably carry them to a World Cup trophy. And I'm looking at Vitinha for this. He has probably been one of the best players in the world. Obviously, you guys will look forward at the likes of Ronaldo, but that attack is kind of scary. It's not scary, but it will need a lot of carrying. It'll need a lot of creation, and Vitinha will have to do that for that Portuguese team. Congo. Congo is a team that I'm also looking forward to. They persevere through a lot of qualifiers to make it here, and a player like Wissa, who I think was injured at AFCON, will need to step up his game. But I'm also looking at a player like Noah Sadiki, who plays at Sunderland, who can carry that midfield for Congo. Colombia, I'm looking at one player and one player only, Luis Diaz. Can he take the reins from James Rodriguez? He's had a phenomenal season at Bayern Munich after leaving Liverpool, and I really want to see good things from Luis Diaz at this World Cup. Uzbekistan, I'm looking at a player called Eldor Shmurdov. Obviously, I am, excuse me for the pronunciations, but I'm looking forward to seeing what Uzbekistan can do at the World Cup. It is probably their first World Cup, if I'm not mistaken, and I'm excited to see them. I'm excited to see all these teams there. And then the last group, Group I, England. England's hopes rest on Harry Kane. Can he do something in probably his last World Cup? At obviously his peak. Can he do something for this England team to bring football home for England? I'm also looking at someone like Morgan Rogers. Can he also do something in that 10 for that England team? Croatia, we're looking at the GOAT in Croatia. Luka Modric, can he do something in his final World Cup? Can Croatia get over the line? Because the last two, they've reached the semi-finals. Can they actually go all the way in this World Cup and become the ultimate dark horses? And then we've got Panama. This is a player that I watched when South Africa played Panama in Cape Town. This is Alberto Coracia. Obviously, excuse the pronunciation, but he was very, very good in that game. Controlled that midfield, made a lot of good passes, a lot of good set pieces. So I'm looking forward to him. And then lastly, Ghana. Obviously, the player that scored 10 goals for Bournemouth and 10 goals for Man City. I'm talking about Antoine Semenyo. Can he, in the absence of Kudus, do something for that Ghana team and push them forward? But guys, let me know who you guys are looking forward to at this World Cup. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and more World Cup content will be coming soon.